Okay, this is Winter Wonderland from the Reader's Digest Christmas book. Let's take a quick listen to it and then I'll go over the details. Okay, let's go back to the beginning and talk about the introduction. The right hand is starting not on middle C, but up here on treble C and E. And we have the dotted 8th to 16th rhythm. So we're kind of doing the long, short, long thing to give it that swing feel. So long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, triplet, and a fermata. So we're holding that one. And then we start in on the verse. So the sleigh bells ring is long, short, long. Are you listening? So you should be kind of singing this in your head to get that sound down. I want to go over the left hand for the majority of the piece first. So we'll start on the introduction again. Let's go back to the beginning of the song. With the left hand we're starting with A and F sharp on an interval. Then we're walking down to G and F natural. And then G and E. Then we move down to the bass G and we play G, F sharp G in a triplet, and end up on an A flat. So that's the left hand for the first bar. Now, most of the left hand in this song for the accompaniment is actually pretty simple. We hit C. You can use your third or your second. I would recommend your third. We're going to hit C. Then we're going to be playing G, F sharp G for a triplet. Dropping down to G and coming back up to G. Then C, G, 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 D, triplet, G, G, D, G, G, G. So we just keep that beat there. Now if you're one of my students, I've told you, you need to get that down with a beat before you start adding anything together. So you should be able to play this with a nice even beat to the point where it's almost that you don't have to think about it. Now when you're putting stuff together, you should go over there and add portions of the right hand, depending on your level of sight reading. If this is difficult for you to read, then add segments of maybe 2 or 3 notes at a time, adding to the left hand that you've already learned. Now, jumping down to the bottom of page 1, let's talk about the left hand there. We're playing an interval of A and F sharp, then G and F natural, then G and E. We move down to that G and we go G, F sharp G to an A flat, just like we did in the intro. And then we start over again. And this is just repeating at that point as we move on to the second page. So if you've learned the first page pretty much up to the end of that last bar almost, it starts to repeat. And we move into the second page, and on the third bar is when things change a little bit. So we get through the repeat parts that go, and here's where we go into kind of the chorus here. So, fingering wise, what I would do is start with your fourth finger, and this is starting with the E on bar 3. After the word land, we're going to E, D, C, and now into the second measure, B, G sharp. Now I'm using my fourth finger. You should be able to reach that. And then move your thumb up to C sharp, then A, and then come back to B and G sharp. Now you don't have to do this grace note. I played it, but you don't have to. You could just hit, or you could actually just hold that and go for that last measure of the third bar. Don't make it too hard on yourself. If you're having trouble playing the grace note G natural to a G sharp, and I'm talking about the last measure of the third bar there, You have to do it in both hands like this. If you can't do it, just hit the left hand. Or play the solid notes. Then we repeat. So 1 again on the B. We're playing E and G sharp. And this is the last bar of the second page. Now you don't have to do the glissando to the E. You don't have to go. You don't have to do that. Just hit this. And then G sharp, it's still G sharp on the second measure of the fourth bar. 1, now here you could go 1 and 5. You can see I'm just playing the 6 and I walk up. And if you're confused on what I mean by that, the interval from D to B is a 6. Now I'm on the third page. You don't have to play these grace notes, but if you want to, you can. Use your second finger for the grace note, and the principal note will be your first finger. Remember, there's a triplet there at the last measure of the first bar of the third page. So we're on the last page. You'll notice that the last page is pretty much at that point repeating as well. So don't worry about that part, you pretty much already know it. The ending, let's look at the very end of this piece. So I'm going to move down to the last bar and play triplet A flat G, take the rest, then hit these chords. So you're going to hit D sharp, G sharp, B, and then the left hand you're hitting B and F sharp. And you're basically holding that same second inversion position there with your hand, just sliding up to this, which is an A minor, and C and G in the left hand, and down to a bass C. Okay, hopefully that's enough information for you to get rolling. If you're one of my students, we'll cover any questions you have in class. So good luck with Winter Wonderland, the Reader's Digest Christmas book version.